Welcome to the Mouse Bros podcast. Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm his brother Randy. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at the Mouse Bros. We'll be releasing new episodes every Friday, so make sure you subscribe to get the latest podcast. If you have any suggestions for upcoming shows or just want to say hi, you can email us at mousecabrospodcast@gmail.com.
If you're planning your next Disney destination or Universal Orlando vacation, you're going to want to reach out to me, Ryan Noppinger, with Capture the Magic Vacations. You can reach me at ryan.noppinger@ctmvagent.com. This is a no-cost-to-you service to use me as your travel agent. I'll make sure you get the best vacation package or deal for your whole family. I can also help make dining reservations and plan fast passes to make planning your Disney vacation less stressful and more magical.
On today's episode, we are talking about current events and rumors that are happening around Walt Disney World. We'll touch on new and upcoming merch, the Skyliner, and just general park news. But as first, Ryan, the main event, Noppinger, how are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to see you're doing well. You're back from being trapped in the Skyliner. How was that?
Well, so it's funny. I actually wasn't on the Skyliner. I was actually in a mall, and the escalator broke down. So I thought it was the Skyliner, but I was trapped there for like 3 hours.
I mean, it's close enough.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I don't know how people were getting off the escalator, though, even though it was broken down.
Sorry to hear about that.
It's crazy.
Wow.
I had to stand there until somebody came and got me.
Well, I'm glad you're doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back. Glad you're back on the episode. I don't know what I was going to do without you.
I don't know either. The show just went downhill.
It would have just been called the Mouska.
Not even just the Mouska Bro.
The
just
Mouska Bro.
One bro.
The Mouska me, I guess.
Mouska you.
The Mouska me, Mouska you, Mouska.
With
I don't know.
other lyrics. All right. We're off to a great start here. So I guess we can just kind of move right into it. We're going to talk about some news. Let's talk about new merch. So the first story we have here is the new Disney Tiny Kingdom box pin set. So basically for $24.99, you get a map that is completely blank of the Disney park. You get that plus a starter pin, which is Cinderella's castle. Then for $20, you get a box set that has various figures from Mickey, in Christmas. It has like some toy soldiers. It has the spitting camel from like Aladdin. So it just really has like some icons throughout the park. So you buy a box, you get 3 pins, and then you put it on your map to basically fill your map with all 24 pins. And this is Series 1. I kind of like it. I kind of like the idea of it. I'm surprised that Disney hasn't had something like this before, just because it's kind of a simple like set almost. So I kind of like it. What are your thoughts? Because you're the pin guy.
Yeah.
Of the two of us, you're the one who's in the pin. So tell me your thoughts on this.
I do like to collect and trade and, just go around to the different cast members and look at what kind of, cast member pins they might have, or just cool pins that, I haven't seen before. The small ones, I don't know how I feel about them yet, I guess. I feel like I'd have to actually buy a pack, see what I get. Hopefully it's all the ones that I, would like on it. But I don't know. The first set looks pretty cool. I mean, especially with like Cosmic Ray. That's pretty cool. I like the Zurg target from Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I guess there's good that you can put them on a lanyard and still be like noticeable. And maybe the lanyard isn't like always the way to go. Like you can put them different places and still be small.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I like that it's a map rather than a lanyard. It's a different way to collect the things, to collect all these pins. Rather than just getting a set of 5. I don't know what sets are, to be honest. But you try to fill out this map rather than just collect a set. So I think it's like a different way to collect pins, and it's kind of kind of interested to see like how far this series goes. You know, do they do Magic Kingdom for now and it becomes a hit? You know, do they move it to Animal Kingdom, you know, and all the other parks? It'd be interesting to see.
I would guess so, especially if they have the map. And I guess out of all of this, I'm not sure how I feel about the map out of all things.
Okay.
I don't think I would necessarily display them like that in a map way. I feel like I'd more put them on my book bag, or if I was wearing so said kind of outfit with like Buzz Lightyear, then I might try to like incorporate that like in my hat or something.
But like if you do that, isn't that kind of defeating the purpose of going for this particular set that is Tiny Kingdom? I mean, the whole point of it is to get all 24 to fill out your kingdom.
No, I mean, I totally agree, but I just don't think I would use them
the way that they
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that actually might be a reason why they don't do good. You know, people, when they buy pins, are they looking more for pins for, you know, to complete a collection, to put on a lanyard, to trade away, rather than buying these pins to kind of fill out, you know, in quotes, their own individual tiny kingdoms?
Yeah, I mean, the small, like, I guess the smallness of them are pretty cute. But, you know, like, can you trade a little pin for a big pin, or is it little pin for a little pin?
Well, I mean, I would think that you could trade any pin for any pin with a cast member, that is. I mean, if you go to, I don't know if they have them anymore, but like, you know, a stand where somebody, like a local collector is there, you know, they may say no, they're going to want 3 tiny pins compared to 1 big pin. I don't know. It'll just be interesting to see what the future holds for these.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely try to get a box, especially, you know, if they come out with more series than what they have. But yeah, I'd be interested in getting a pack and see what I have.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same thing with the Vinyl Nation things that, you know, I mean, they were cool when they came out, and occasionally if I see one that I like in the set, I'll buy one. But now I'm like, you know, I haven't seen any recently that I've liked, but I mean, these could most likely be the same thing. But we'll see.
No, I agree. It is all about like the series stuff. You know, Disney's all about that. All right, so moving on to our next story. Just when you thought it was over, they put it on a shirt. I'm talking about the new Pleasure Island t-shirt they're selling at Disney Springs. So the logo from 1989 when it opened is now plastered on a shirt that you can buy for $24.99. If you don't know what Pleasure Island is, it's so basically downtown Disney. Well, Disney Springs, which was originally known as Downtown Disney, was split up into like 3 parts, and Pleasure Island was right in the middle. It kind of opened to kind of get that like nightclub aspect.
A strong 90s feel of nightclubs.
Right. So that opened to try to get the nightclubs and like the bar scene kind of to Disney. And then once they realized that, you know, you wanted a nightclub,
wanted more family friendly.
Right. So, you know, with the nightclub, it did bring crime and stuff. So then they were like, okay, let's not do this nightclubs. And then they kind of redid everything. But now you can buy the shirt. I mean, it's a cool shirt. It's a cool logo. Don't know if something that I'm going to be looking out for.
Cool throwback. I might look for this shirt at the outlets at Florida,
like discount,
you know, and get it for $7.99.
I completely agree.
Sure, cool throwback.
Yeah.
But other than that, would definitely not pay $24.99 for it.
Well, talking about a throwback, let's move to our next item, which is the VHS cover throwback for $29.99. This is like the ultimate movie throwback backpack. It features the VHS covers from Dumbo, Beauty and the Beast, Lady and the Tramp, The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Peter Pan, kind of all put together in this like montage. I think it looks so cool. It just brings me back to my childhood when like VHSs were like huge and really big. You know, they always had those big bulky boxes, and you know, they just took that cover and put them on a backpack. So I don't know. This may be something that goes on like a wish list, because I really like this backpack.
No, I mean, looking at pictures of it, definitely looks awesome. I've seen the VHS like notebooks that they had, or the purses that they had that were kind of the VHS things, and I always thought like, yeah, that like I like the old covers of the VHS, but I mean, well, I don't need a purse, and nor do I feel like spending. You know, I think the notebooks were. I mean, they weren't cheap. Let's say,
Right. I'm
nothing
sure
in
they weren't
Disney's
cheap. Yeah.
But I don't want to pay just for a VHS cover of a notebook
that you may use a little bit and then like lose.
Yeah.
Because it's a notebook.
Yeah, but the book bag, at least it's useful, and you can then carry it around the park, and it looks cool. So yeah, I agree with you. It definitely looks cool. I hope they do more throwback stuff like this, especially for our generation, for those early 90s, late 90s movies that were such a great hit.
Yeah. Moving on to our next item, Disney has announced 2 new popcorn buckets for this Christmas holiday. The first one is a flannel little green men popcorn bucket from Toy Story, those aliens. And then there's also a Christmas tree popcorn bucket. So the alien Toy Story, the popcorn bucket, it's weird. To me, it's weird because the popcorn is actually like in his mouth. So, when it's closed, he just looks like a little green alien. But when you put popcorn in it, his mouth opens up all the way, and that's where the popcorn is. To me, I don't know why that just like weirds me out. Like I don't like the popcorn bucket because I feel like I'm like eating out of his mouth.
I love it.
Okay.
and actually on our last trip, we bought one.
Really?
Not the Santa one, of course, not the flannel one, but they have just like a regular one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I loved it.
It weirds me out.
I had to have it because I love it.
The second popcorn bucket is a Christmas tree popcorn bucket, and it's basically just like Mickey putting a present under the tree. This is something that's really cute because it, even if you don't have popcorn in it and it's all closed up, like this is something that I could see being displayed during the holiday season.
It kind of looks like it lights up. Like if you look we're looking at a picture right now, but definitely go and just search, Mickey Christmas tree popcorn bucket, for this season. And it like the tree splits in half. So the bottom half is filled with popcorn, and then it looks like the top half is kind of a battery pack.
Yeah.
Which then, if the tree's cut in half, to me, like versus the green alien, it doesn't look like as much popcorn.
No, it doesn't. It does not look like it holds as much popcorn. But for me personally, the Christmas tree is something that I would want to buy and then display. Like the green alien is not something that like I would want to buy, eat from, and then display in my house.
Yeah, I don't think I would get the flannel one. It looks cute, but I know from buying the just regular green alien, it was $25. I wouldn't necessarily get this one, especially because this one lights up. So like,
right, the Christmas tree
cool.
lights up. Yeah. They haven't released prices yet. It's been confirmed in Hong Kong and Disneyland, so it's not guaranteed, but it's highly likely that these will be announced for Walt Disney World sometime in the future.
Yeah, I love all of these popcorn buckets. I remember from our childhood, these type of themed popcorn buckets, and then like I don't know, maybe the early 2000s, they like stopped like the kind of cool popcorn buckets that they're coming out with now, and just went with kind of like a generic one for all the parks. And it's a good investment, I always think, because let's say it's $14.99 and then it's $2 for a refill for your entire stay. And to be honest, no one is really checking, this popcorn bucket's from last year. You got this last year. This isn't from your current stay. Nobody's really checking that. So like the green alien that we just got, I'm most likely going to take that back down in December when we go, and maybe probably not in January because we're flying, but I'll most likely take it down in December and get popcorn for $2.
So you're cheating Disney out of money is what you're telling me on air.
If they're not checking me.
Okay. I'm going to send an email to my local congressman who then will
do nothing.
Yeah. Do nothing because it's in Florida and we are not in Florida. All right, moving on to the next thing. Play Disney, which is it's an iPhone app that you can, or not iPhone, just app in general that you like kind of play games on. It kind of focuses on like the attraction or something. They have added new achievements for some reason. I guess it's that popular that people use it. So you can get them at different attractions like Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Mission Space, Slinky Dog Dash, and like Dinosaur. There's a entire list that has all of the attractions where you can get an achievement. They've also come out with 4 play pins that from how Disney puts it, it sounds like you have to get the achievement and then you're allowed to buy it. I mean, that's how they word it, but I could just be reading it weirdly. So the 4 pins you can get is Simba from Festival of the Lion King, the Yeti from Expedition Everest, Lightning McQueen from Radiator Races, and Mike and Sully from Mike and Sully to the Rescue. So here's one sentence that it says, earn the digital achievement of Expedition Everest and head to Discover Trading Company to purchase the Everest Mountaineer pin. Like, to me, that sounds like I have to get the achievement and then go buy the pin.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's the idea. Now, whether how much they're, I guess, enforcing this, like, oh yeah, I want to buy that pin. Oh, well, let me see your app.
Right. Like, to me, Disney's not going to be like, oh, you want to buy this pin for $10. Sorry, you got to go pay an app. Like, Disney's going to be like, no, give me your $10. Here's the pin. I don't care if you really got the achievement or not.
Is it more than $10? I imagine.
No, I actually have no idea how much it is.
They're probably like regular price.
Yeah, they probably are. I really don't know how much pins are. That was
$12.99, $14.99 around that area.
Yeah, I just poured a number. So like Disney's not going to say no to $13. They're going to not. I'm not trying to say Disney will take your money. You know that they're not like stingy about it. But if you say I want to buy this pin, Disney will say okay.
Now, I don't know how I feel about this. I have played in the app while in the park. So I've played in Toy Story Land with it. Pretty cool. I don't remember unlocking any achievements. I'm sure I did because I don't know, whatever. But I don't see myself unlocking an achievement and saying, oh, let me go buy this $14.99 pin. Now, maybe if it was a cool pin and the attraction that I really liked and it had a game and I've connected with it and the pin, I don't know, $5, $5.99 or $4.99 or something like that. Yeah, I might buy it. Be like, oh yeah, I really like this pin, and especially if you can only get it by playing the app, it kind of has that like limited release, limited edition feel that I always love. They could put limited edition on anything and I'd probably buy it.
It's like Disney. You're just like, oh my gosh, like give me $50 and it's like a sock that
limited edition, like 1 million. And like, I'd be like, oh, well, I can only get it here, so I might as well get it.
See, what I thought, like when I first read this article, what I thought it was is that you had to like get I'm making up a number, all 200 achievements. And then once you got that, you could take your achievements and like go anywhere and get a special pin. To me, that would be something interesting because that's limited edition and it's free. Don't get me wrong, it's free in the sense that you're still paying to go to Disney and you probably can't get all the achievements in one day. So you have to go for multiple days. Like, to me, that sounds better than saying get this one achievement to get this pin, but really either way, we don't care who you are, we'll still give you this pin. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. I feel like I hope they govern it as far as, oh well, let's look at your achievements to see if you are able to get this pin or whatever. Right. Oh, you have one more level in I don't know, Avatar Flight of Passage. Go beat that and then come on back.
Right, but like at the same time, Disney, I don't think Disney would be that type of way for something like this. Like because they're not limited edition. I mean, I guess all pins are limited edition because they're only going to make so many of them ever. But like, they're not like a one-time offer. Like, it sounds like they're going to have these pins and that they're going to really add to them, sometime in the future for different achievements. I don't know. I guess I need to see it. Need to see more. Need to see how it like plays out with it.
Hopefully, some of these kind of playback. That's funny. Go back to the new Play Pavilion coming to Epcot in some sort of way.
Yeah, maybe that's how. Maybe that's how it's moving. I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see, where this is going and why. I mean, we know why because why not?
Because it
sells things.
Because money. Because money. That's
right.
Why.
Yeah, but no, interesting. And I think they actually have them displayed in the store, so you can go look at them, or if your achievement in the app. That's what the pin's going to look like the achievement in the app.
Yes.
So you can kind of look at, oh yeah, I want to complete that to get this pin.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. Kind of cool. Kind of a cool idea.
Well, that kind of wraps up all of our merch talk. So let's kind of talk into probably the biggest thing the biggest news story out of all of this.
Yeah,
and that is actually the Skyliner.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, there was a Skyliner accident that occurred on October 5th at the Riviera Resort Station. And there's tons of pictures online. I'm not going to try to explain it for what happened. I mean,
it was a pile up. That's what it was. It was a pile up of the tram's cars, and some glass got broken, so the whole system shut down.
Yeah, from what I understand, or what to me, it kind of seems, if you're looking at a picture of it, it doesn't look like the front car caught the next line, right? So the Riviera Station, and even now, and I can speak from experience because literally after a couple of days from it running, we were on it, me and my wife Amanda, because we were on a trip at the time, and actually when this accident occurred, we were in Epcot, so pretty close to all of this at the time that it happened, and it was pretty crazy down there. But I just figured that Riviera Resort isn't an active resort yet, and it won't be, I think, until December off the top of my head. I probably should have had that.
Probably should look that up. Deborah, look that up.
Get Deborah on that. So what I believe is that the car switching kind of lines to go to the hub at Caribbean Beach, the front one didn't catch. So what created then a backup of the Skyliners that then just had them keep on coming in before someone could hit, the all stop kind of button to make everything stop.
Right. Which
also, speaking from experience, before they have made some system changes. So it seems like the Skyliners don't come, like the gondola cars themselves, don't come as close together. Getting on it for the first time when you were coming into the station, it was like, oh my gosh, we might hit that next gondola because it came in so quick. But I mean, we didn't. But it was just kind of I wonder if something will ever happen, and something did happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting to see, whether this was like a rush project that, the Skyliner crashed, if it was really just something that happens. I mean, stuff happened. That's why they're called accidents. You know what I mean? Because it just happens.
Yeah. From a complete rumor, but from what I heard also down there, was that it lost power. Now, I would imagine there's backup generator for a backup generator for this gondola sky system, that the only way you can come down from it is the line or a ladder, up to you, that there would be tons of backup generators, backup process computers in place for if something were to happen. But, if this was a power failure, then, maybe, that car didn't catch in time when it, reverted to a generator or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. See, to me, it seems like they wouldn't want to keep pushing cars through, because if there was, a pile up there of cars, they wouldn't want to keep putting cars through there hoping that another pile up doesn't happen. So they probably just shut it down to make sure that everybody could get off as safe as possible.
Yeah. So, and with that, they did shut it down after the accident, of course. And guests were in the gondolas for upwards of 3 hours.
Yeah.
And had to come down with cherry pickers and fire truck ladders, which I can't even imagine.
I don't think anybody was seriously injured, but I think 3 people were hospitalized.
I think heat exhaustion.
I think there was a elder lady, there was another lady, and then I think third lady. So that sums up. It really just paints a picture for you.
That's nice. I appreciate your
3
research.
ladies, that's the 3 people. All right.
Did you go down to the hospital for that one? No,
I did. All right.
So actually, Disney then recently has released a statement that I'll read just some of. So we know, and they say, we know many of you have been looking for an update on the Disney Skyliner and are glad to share that it is reopened to guests today. And this came out on October 14th. Following a complete review with the manufacturer, we have made adjustments to our process and training, and we are improving how we communicate with guests during their flight within the Skyliner. We again offer our deepest apologies to guests impacted by the malfunction that resulted in extended operation delays on October 5th. And it goes on a little bit, just that kind of reassurance. And, they end it with, we greatly appreciate your ongoing patience and understanding, and we look forward to welcoming you back aboard the Disney Skyliner. Now, shortly after that, then they did also come out with kind of adjusted hours. So again, this came out on October 14th, and then on October 16th, 17th, and 18th, the lines all closed pretty much in the morning, and then only ran from 1 to 10:30. And again, more of that system update with the manufacturer that was happening at that time. Now, I will say it's kind of weird that it opened on the 14th, though they still had updates to do the 16th through the 18th.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, it
sure.
It depends on what the issue was. You know what I mean? If there was an issue that somebody just had to monitor, and whenever it happened, they just like basically stopped the cars, fixed the issue, and then started the cars again. You know what I mean? And then until they just had to work like that for 2 days until they could get somebody out there. I don't know.
No, I would imagine the manufacturer and
was
out
I'm
there
sure.
like immediately.
I know, I'm sure.
That
I'm
night,
sure.
I can only think of, because it was closed officially after the accident on 10/5 all the way up until 10/14. Well, with all that said, I definitely think I'll be back on it for sure. I think this was just a fluke, one-time occurrence. I hope Disney definitely takes this stuff very, very, very seriously. And then looking at videos recently of the Skyliner, it does look like they're spaced out a little bit more, in the stations and for loading, which is nice.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let me start off by saying, don't ever go to the comic section of anything. So I went to the comment section, and there was one person who wrote this very detailed paragraph. I'm not going to get into everything, but of how the Skyliner needs to be torn down because this was a rush project. Disney didn't do a good job with it, yada, yada, yada. We're using the term accident because that's exactly what it was. I don't want to get morbid or anything, but, a couple years back, there was a very bad monorail accident where the driver of the monorail was killed. Their monorail doors are just falling off, midway ride. The monorail system is still up and running. People still get onto it day and day. This is just like a fluke thing that happened. So like you said, Ryan, I've never gotten on it. I am not afraid to get on it.
Let's get Mom on it now.
Well, she's going to be afraid regardless. She doesn't even do Ferris wheels. So this is going to be a blast.
Yeah, I know.
Getting her on it.
Yeah. I can't wait to take it in January.
Yeah, I'm very excited. We'll do a whole episode just on the Skyliner. Probably not. That's not enough to talk about, but we'll do something like that.
Do a live shoot from the Skyliner.
All right. Moving on to just general park information. The first one we have here is the animation experience at the Conversation Station now features animal villain drawing tutorials. So now you can draw some of your favorite villains like Bruce from Finding Nemo, Hopper from Bug's Life, Shere Kong from The Jungle Book, and Tick-Tock from Peter Pan. This all begins October 18th. It's pretty cool. I'd be interested to see if they add more villains, add more characters, or if this is just because it's around Halloween. In the article, they don't talk about anything about an ending date. So, are they just adding it because it's October and then November 1st, they're all going to go away? Or is this something that they're just keeping, that they want to do villains? No,
I mean, I think for a long time, it was all about the Lion King because the anniversary of Lion King and all that. But yeah, I just think it's just for Halloween as for October, for that kind of, for the season. But, I wonder who they would change it out for Christmas or anything.
Right. Well, I mean, so the 4 villains I just named, they're all animals. So it's still fitting the theme of Animal Kingdom. It's not like they picked Gaston, just not animal villains. Right. They still picked animals. So you're still drawing animals.
I like it, and it's not just the characters from Lion King. Like it's, different characters from multiple movies, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like kind of how the old animation
Rest in Peace
was at Hollywood Studios.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun.
No, go ahead, sorry.
If you have never gone to one of these animation tutorials because you're not a drawer, you're just bad at it, Ryan and I we mess up drawing stick figures. So, and we did one of the tutorials, and we had a blast. It was tons of fun. So,
because I mean, you make fun of each other's art, and you're like, oh, really? Pumbaa has that small nose,
right?
Or I don't know, it's funny,
right? Like even if you're not a good drawer, though, even at the tutorial, you kind of draw something, and you're like, oh, like that kind of somewhat maybe looks like the character.
It kind of resembles Goofy.
Like, but we were drawing Dumbo.
You're like, oh, sorry.
Well, it looks like Goofy. So if you haven't done it, do it. It's a blast. All right. Next story.
No, it is a good time. So next story, some more details came out about Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and I'll get into reading a couple of those in a second. But first, Hollywood Studios is scheduled to open December 5th, and in Disneyland, it's scheduled to open January 17th. So super excited about this attraction. From what I've heard from it, just absolutely... I almost feel like it's going to blow the Millennium Falcon ride out of the water.
Yeah, Smugglers Run.
Yeah,
I agree.
I really do think so. And
well, because I mean, it's like a next level attraction. Like Smugglers Run, the best way to describe it to me is like if you took Mission Space and Star Tours and put them together, they had a love child, and it was Smugglers Run.
Yeah, or just a shrunken down Star Tours to me that's interactive.
It's like, that's interactive. But like Rise of Resistance is just next level all around type of attraction.
Yeah, no, I definitely can't wait. So to read kind of this first sentence, and then we can talk about it a little bit more. But guests will join the Resistance and depart from Batuu in a transport ship to meet General Leia Organa at a secret rendezvous point. However, on their way to the hidden base, guests are intercepted and taken prisoner by the First Order as their ship is drawn into the hangar of a Star Destroyer. The action then ramps up as guests seek to escape the clutches of Kylo Ren and the First Order. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance will bring guests face-to-face with some of their favorite Star Wars characters, including Resistant heroes Rey, Poe, and Finn, as well as Kylo Ren and General Hux from the First Order. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is one of the largest attractions Disney has ever created. Its massive show building is a world unto itself, housing 2 full-sized AT-ATs, or AT-AT walkers, and a Star Destroyer hangar bay, complete with a TIE fighter and tons of stormtroopers, plus more thrills and surprises. Walt Disney Imagineering will combine multi-ride systems to tell the story of Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. In one of the sequence, a new simulator experience will give the sensations to guests that they are falling from space and crash land on Batuu. Just awesome.
No, yeah, it's exciting. Like I think that basically you're going to be in like a trackless ride vehicle where you're kind of going through, and at some point you'll, I don't know, like enter a room, enter like a box or something, and it'll kind of turn into like a Star Tours almost, like that motion type ride. And then like whenever you, I guess, crash land on Batuu, it then goes back into like a trackless ride. So I think it's like putting a lot of different ride vehicles together to make this experience what it is.
Yeah, I can't wait for it.
I cannot wait. I'm super excited.
It's going to be super immersive from everything that has come out about it. And pictures, I think there was a recent picture kind of release that wasn't supposed to be released from someone that shows kind of the transport ship that you go into first. And then like that is somehow, I guess, displayed on your front screen that you're being kind of captured by a Star Destroyer, sucked in, and then that's when you get into your ride vehicle because you're captured by the First Order, and then you escape out of a pod. I just can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Super excited.
I don't know. Yeah.
I hope it's worth the hype. I hope it's worth the hype.
No,
I don't want to be disappointed. Like, not that you're disappointed with Smugglers Run, but from what I hear, it sounds like it's just like, oh, like that's it? Like, what's next? Kind of.
Well, even just for the, all of Galaxy's Edge is just kind of like, it feels like it's missing something. And I think this is the missing something. Had this opened on opening day when everything else did, it it would have been in just an awe. Like, I feel like people would have, I feel like you either freak out about this kind of thing, or you're like, I like Star Wars, or, oh, that's cool. I feel like it would have been awe that, like, oh my gosh, I can go fly the Falcon, and then I can go, be captured by a Star Destroyer,
right,
and then escape. Like, it would have been that whole multi kind of experience thing.
Yeah.
Versus
absolutely.
just a one-way thing that it is now. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, moving on to the food of Star Wars Land, Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo has removed all the Star Wars themed names. So you can no longer get smoked Cadou ribs or fried Endorian tip yip. They basically just changed all their names to like what real names would be. So like the shack roast is now just beef pot roast, and the yumbum shrimp noodle salad is just shrimp and noodle salad. So the menu still has the Star Wars names, but it's like in fine print under the names below.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, oh yeah, don't worry about that name.
Yeah, well, I think basically what happened is that a lot of guests didn't know, like, if you saw fried Endorian tip yip, would you know what that is? You had no idea.
No, but I appreciate the theming that was around it. And then I'm going to read the description of crispy chicken with the choice of vegetable mashed potatoes with, gravy or mac and cheese. Like,
right. I get that. I get that, if you read the description, it kind of explains what it is.
You get an idea of what it is.
Right.
Plus pictures.
I guess people guests just didn't understand, ordering the wrong things. I don't know. But
like, so this dish that I have had in Galaxy's Edge, the fried Endorian tip yip, yes, it is basically fried chicken with no bone. Or I've heard it called like a deconstructed chicken pot pie.
Okay.
Kind of thing, with the sauce and the mashed potatoes and veggies
right.
and the chicken. But like, I don't know. To me now, if I read just like fried chicken and it looks like something that I've never seen before, like, I don't know. It kind of takes away that experience of, oh, I'm eating, in Galaxy's Edge.
Right. I mean, maybe it's not to call it fried chicken and not, fried Endorian tip yip. Maybe it's something in between where it's like, I don't know, like Han Solo's fried chicken recipe. I don't know. I'm horrible at naming things on the fly. But just that idea that you still call it fried chicken, but you put a little bit of a spin to where it's something else, but still has like fried chicken in the name.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's
I mean, I get it. Or, I mean, just leave the themed name and put fried chicken in small print.
Right. Maybe swap it. Maybe put fried chicken in that fine print under it and keep the Endorian tip yip.
Yeah. That's what I would have liked. But
yeah,
what's done is done. They have printed the menus. They didn't call us, so here we are talking about it now.
Still waiting on that phone call. They never run anything by us, I swear.
Never. So to move on to kind of a funny, I guess, not so funny story. So basically over $20,000 in attraction parts have been reported stolen after a burglary at Walt Disney World, according from an article by the Orlando Sentinel, which, again, just to read that kind of headliner is like, wait a minute, what? How much? $20,000 in attraction parts? How do you get that in your car? How do you not get noticed? Getting that in your car. So anyway, some of the classic attractions parts that were in here that were stolen were from Peter Pan's Flight and Space Mountain. So this happened all behind a storage shed located behind Test Track in Epcot. A cast member noticed a set of sails from Peter Pan's Flight missing during inventory counts, and then later found that a shell and 3 ride vehicle seats from Space Mountain had also disappeared. I don't know. I wouldn't have it in me to go and break into a Disney shed and take all that.
I wouldn't even know what to do with it once I have it. Like, it's like you would need you can't just like use like a Honda Accord. You know what I mean? Like you need like a truck. Like an SUV, not even
rent
that.
A U-Haul.
Yeah, you got to rent a U-Haul to do that. Like, oh, sir, why are you renting this U-Haul? I'm going to go steal Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, it really does. Well, the report was filed with the Orange County Sheriff's Office on October 2nd, a day after the items found missing. According to the sheriff, these items were not tagged, nor did they have serial number codes or any unique markings whatsoever. The storage shed, however, is surrounded by fencing and was padlocked. Again, I really just still can't believe this, that it was over $20,000 in attraction parts.
Look, here's just like a PSA to everybody. Don't steal stuff. If it's not yours, don't take it. It's illegal.
All right. Now, am I going to go look on eBay for these Peter Pan sales?
Probably. Yes. That's not the point. Just don't steal stuff. That shouldn't have to like tell people like, hey, that illegal thing you're doing, probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, just crazy. And then also actually kind of a related number of stories from the past couple of months here. So just this past May, a former cast member of Walt Disney World was arrested after entering a restricted area in Disney and stealing over $7,000 in items from the Haunted Mansion. And then his arrest warrant also detailed facts behind the missing Buzzy animatronic that was stolen back in December. I don't know. I didn't think this was a thing. Now it's a thing.
Look, if you're going to steal something from your job, steal like a pen. Steal some tape. Hey, you want that stapler? Sure. Take the stapler home, staple all the papers you want. But like when it's expensive stuff, probably don't do that, because nobody's just going to be like, there's $20,000 just went missing. Oh, well, I think they're going to do some investigating, and they're probably going to find who did it. Yeah. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day. At some point, they're going to find out who did this, and they're going to have heavy consequences.
Yeah, I mean, even from Buzzy going missing, which was an animatronic from Cranium Command back in the Wonders of Life Pavilion way back in the day. Yes, this ride just sat there. It's cheaper for Disney to let an attraction just sit rather than just dispose of it and get rid of all the materials and everything, unless they know what they're going to do with the space. So yes, this old attraction just sat there. Someone went in and took this animatronic. Again, how you got that out of the park?
I don't even know where to begin to do that.
If you got it out of the park by hundreds of cast members, sure, I guess keep it at that point. Sure. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, just crazy. I mean, and that was from back in December. Then basically they called him back in May because he said, they said, I got away with the Buzzy animatronic. I can get away with, so much more. But, again, just absolutely just crazy just to think about.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what else to say about it.
I don't know. Well, let's move on to our last article here. So back in 2019, the Walt Disney World Railroad closed because they were starting to do work on the Tron Light Cycle Run. Basically, for that, they had to kind of take out some track from the train, so it's no longer a complete circle, so it cannot go. Well, Disney has now announced that it will be closed until 2020, until probably the end of 2020, to really 2021. So that's a really long time away for it to be closed. Now, there are signs saying that the Fantasyland and Frontierland will open at the beginning of 2020. So, this brings up a question of, is the train now going to run, let's call it shuttle mode, that it's basically going to go from Frontierland to Fantasyland and then kind of back to Frontierland. And then maybe even to the front park. Like, are they going to open, 2 stations, 3 stations? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I will say I do miss, riding the train, especially if you're in Frontierland and you want to make it to the front of the park. This is a fantastic mode of transportation around the park.
Absolutely.
But, not having it now, or what will be for 2 years, will be quite a long time.
It will be, but it's not, it's not like they're closing it because there's an issue or You know what I mean? They're closing it for something that they're building that is going to be crazy awesome.
That is true. I mean, they are while it's closed because of Light Cycle, the Tron Light Cycle Run, they are like kind of ripping up railroad track and relaying it.
Right, while they have the time.
Yeah, you might as well. You might as well put this under refurbishment if you can't.
Right. If you can't operate it for 2 years, you might have just, change some scenes and just add stuff because it's not running. So instead of letting it sit there and things kind of get like old and ruined, change up some scenes while at it. Do a really big refurbishment on it.
I do.
Why not?
I do like though that while it's not in operation, they have a train still at the train station that you can go up to and take pictures of while basically no one's on it, which is kind of cool. Even though every time I remember it, it's when I'm on the monorail leaving Magic Kingdom and we should have saw the train
at the end of the day.
I never remember it because I always think, it's not running, so why would I go up to the train station? But it will definitely be on my list here. Well, we can go do it in January now because it'll be closed until 2021. So we definitely have the time to do that.
Absolutely.
Just crazy.
You think somebody's going to steal some track or like steal the train?
I'm sure
that would be if you steal a car train, you can have it. You just keep it. Disney would just be like, you know what? You won. You win. You do whatever you want with it. We'll pay you for it. We'll pay you double whatever you're selling for on eBay.
Sure.
That'd be crazy.
Now, I mean, I will say, from being a cast member, going back to the story that I still just can't get over from the $20,000, being stolen from stuff. As being a cast member, yes, I have always wanted something, park related, Disney related to kind of wrap up my whole experience. But never, did it really cross my mind? I can just steal an animatronic, or I can just take a seat from Space Mountain, or anything like that.
You take a pen from
the
hotel that says Walt Disney World. You steal the little shampoo bottles that they put in every room. We do every year. Every time we go down, we steal them.
Yeah, yeah. You take little things like that. You take maybe 10 park maps. And you
take the free stuff. And not the stuff that's illegal to take.
Right. I mean, you take, some buttons and, the celebration buttons or the birthday buttons. So then, when maybe you're not at Disney for a while, then, you can wear the birthday button around. Like, I mean, I do, right? But,
that's you're stealing buttons. That's illegal.
No, it's not.
Disney, get them.
They're free. Take them.
That's what somebody said about Peter Pan.
The storage shed that was
the storage shed. Like,
that was padlocked.
Well, if it's open, I guess everything's free in here.
I still can't get over it. I know. Out of all the stories, I feel that's the one we're talking about that more than the Skyliner.
I know. That's crazy.
Yes, it is. Well, to end it here, if you have enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review as it helps us improve the show. And as always, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.